3, 2, in 1. Welcome to Dungeon Damsels, everybody.
So startled.
Michael, I hear you have a spotlight for us. Take it away.
Awesome.
Who I want to promote today is Joe, the Tabletop Theory, at Tabletop Theory 1. He has a YouTube channel, but I like him a lot because with his videos and stuff that he does promoting tabletop RPGs, he incorporates a lot of mental health and counseling, which I think is amazing because honestly, tabletop games are so perfect for like mental health. Because you can be anyone, you can do anything, and you can honestly just role play through problems or things that you're going through. And here is his YouTube channel, and he has a lot of like videos, just like advice for running games. But one of the videos that I really like is things that is not widely talked about, like the importance of trust at a table, anxieties that may come up that you might deal with as a GM, and imposter syndrome. So he talks about a lot of topics like that, and I honestly think the videos are really good, and two, it's a nice change of pace from which you see a lot about videos on TTRPGs.
And therapy is expensive.
Therapy is expensive, so might as well just get it out through D&D.
Yeah, I was just flipping through his like homebrew rules and yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're great.
Like scripted helping. Can I help? Sure. How are you going to help them? Just write it. Like,
yeah, I mean,
they have critical successes, which I think is awesome, and they try to like fail forward with national funds, which I'm trying to do more of.
Yeah, I watched his video on trust, and I thought it was really informative. Like just getting the communication between the GM and the players, what to expect, how to really build trust, and it honestly just building a cohesive environment for the whole table.
Yeah, trust at a table
is really important.
It's very important.
Because like honestly, I've been in games where just like things weren't laid out, things were all assumed, and just like it can fall apart really quickly. So yes, let us show our support. Check out Tabletop Theory. Check out Joe. He's a cool dude, and I'm going to be sure checking out a lot more of his videos.
Now that we're all at peace, mentally, it's time for the chaos. This weird Mexican standoff that we're stuck in.
Exactly. This bank heist we seem to have happened upon. We're trying to make a deposit to destruction.
I just wanted to get coffee.
Who are you here?
Who are all these people? Why are the tellers fighting me now too?
Last time the damsels set out onto an open field on the way to the Leicester Kingdom in hopes of finding a member of the Golden Hawks Guild to help Luna and her lycanthropy. After a rousing few days on the road and camping out at a way station, the group was ambushed by the Triple Crown Mercenary Guild, who have had it out for Orador and Keonthi. The guild leader, a male in plate armor, gave Order a thrashing and nearly took him down. Just when the tide of battle was turning in the favor of the damsels, the guild pulls out a hostage, Jan, the driver of the magical carriage that you've been riding in. And then to the east and west, bands of horses came galloping up, and the band of horses that came from the west is clearly of a nobility. They have So they have like uniforms. There we go. They're a unified group, and at the front you see this human male riding a white stallion, perfectly coiffed hair, and a cloak of gleaming gold. Right up to the front, two people flanking him on either side, each on their own steed. The one on the left is a human female, tan skin and brown hair and eyes. The right is a half-orc with a shaved face and head. Across his body he wears leathers and hides, along with a spear and shield. The man in the middle points his fingers and shouts, "This is Fox territory now. I demand to know your purpose, Silver Fang." He's clearly addressing the male in the silver armor. And at this moment, let's actually roll for initiative, because there's been enough time where initiative would have changed, because this is a...
And don't mind me, I'm just gonna roll.
Something changed.
That's right.
Oh, my little copy.
They rolled a nice number. Happy.
Oh my gosh. This is terrible. This is not what I want to roll high in, because I don't know.
And I think my initiative is +2, so I got a 22.
Don't tell me yet. Hold your numbers. I need to do a bunch...
Right there.
Don't mind me, I'm just gonna roll initiative 3 times, because I have all the suns. I'm a crazy.
Just how your life is these days, Michael.
Yep.
Just rolling for initiative until the end of the session.
Oh, Aravan. I was like, I have an NPC I'm missing.
You lost Serena's whole brother.
I just...
Whole brother.
Say
Not even
whole
just a
brother.
leg. Like,
Just
The
all of
whole
them.
brother.
The whole body
I can
is
understand
just
like
gone.
missing just like a little bit, like
Okay, now I can take your numbers. So Ellie, what'd you get?
I got a natural 20,
Nice.
so that is a 22 for me.
Oh, okay, Luna.
6.
Cool.
I'm
Kayanthi.
still a wolf.
23.
Everything's back. I'm all about it.
What'd you get, Kiara?
I rolled a nat 20, so I got a 22 as well.
Hey,
Hey!
what's your dex score?
With a +2.
Is it a 14 or is it
1-4.
okay. Mine is 15, so I guess I go first. Or whatever works.
Okay, you can go first.
Ellie can go first.
Go first. We actually had a lot of people at 22.
The whole party.
Everyone wants to be first to the party. Distracted for a minute, but then everyone collectively looked at each other immediately like, hey, wait a minute, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, like Spider-Man, just you go first.
Sorry, I got a lot of initiatives right now.
You guys really are married. You're just the same.
Yeah. So
Rolling initiatives, both of you. We're rolling your vows, you know. Do I do? I do! And then that's how it works. That's how marriage happens.
So Tiffany, I need to give you 2 more initiatives.
Okay.
So the 2 dire wolves that I summoned rolled a 15 on their initiative,
Okay.
and Boink is on a 17.
Okay, so you guys can do things on your turn. And so at this point, like, you have, I would say this is like, you can do things while they're talking. And so I have like lines for them, so I'm gonna do something kind of weird, but anyway, Kayanthi, you're the top, so you can do something in this instance. So to remind you what's going on, I'm gonna go over here. Okay, you're over there. You have Boink next to you. Order ran behind you and is trying to flee. then you have Silver Fang right in front of you, and one of his lackeys. Aravan's back over there. What do you want to do?
Well, I am certainly in a spot. Is everyone still attacking each other?
There's kind of like this. It's all in the 6 seconds of this tense moment of these. These two. This secondary party came up, and Silver Fang is like looking over, and like he doesn't. You can't see his expression, but from his body language, he's like a little confused because he doesn't know who these people are.
Well, we are in the same boat. We are friends now, Silver Fang, as I run away from you. Well, I don't know. Let's see here. Need healing a little bit. If I try to leave, is that an attack of opportunity? Can they swipe at me?
Yeah, they can do that.
That's rude. I don't think I like that. Attacking would be the best thing to do right now. I just had a really fun idea that I could use the Ray of Enfeeblement on Silver Fang just in case this slips out, but that just might aggravate him, so I don't know.
You can hold your action.
Yeah, you can hold an action.
Okay, I like that idea. Can I hold a second level spell?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna hold Ray of Enfeeblement on Silver Fang.
Until you can hold it till your next turn. So
Yeah, next turn. See
Okay.
what happens.
Yeah, you can make like the trigger like if he does something aggressive or does like a certain thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up is Orator, and he's just bolting. So he actually uses invisibility. He's actually gonna like use his invisibility.
I think last session, Point just kind of rested on his shoulder. So.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm fine with that. Boinks with him. And okay. That's pretty much his turn. He runs off and disappears into the darkness. Ellie, you can do something at this point.
I am going to put Boink on Orator's shoulder, because I think Orator was looking really bad.
Yeah, he was.
I am going to cast Cure Wounds, but through Boink.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna close my eyes and just like kind of like put out my hand as if I'm like laying my hand on his shoulder, and just speak softly and be like, "Boink, help our new friend." And pass it second level. That's 2d8. Gotta heal our trash bar.
Don't we love him?
We love him. We
I'm
love
gonna take care of your trash barn.
We love our
Definitely.
bald
Gotta-
trash bar.
Gotta take care of your trash barn.
Hey, that's right. Not bad. 17 points.
Oh, nice. Okay.
17
17 boinks.
I heard that too. As
What does your healing look like from Boink?
Yeah, basically, Boink just like starts to glow green.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like healing energy just like kind of like
Coalesces.
coalescing, kind of binds outward, kind of like roots.
Okay.
Like pattern.
That's cool.
Slowly fades away.
Awesome. Yeah. So like it's kind of like vines come out of Boink and like coil around Orator
Yeah.
and a plant hug and heal him. Okay. Yeah, I like it. All right. After that is Kiara.
Hello.
Hey, it's your turn. It's it's in the tense moment where the two outside parties have met and are like, "Who are you?" So you have a brief second to do something.
A perception check. Are they here like as if they want to talk, or what are you doing here as in they're gonna start trying to bluff one of them out of the running for being who's in charge here? Like, it feels like a little bit of a power play between them, right?
Alpha contest.
Okay, I think that's more of an insight check because you're trying to read off of like intention and body language. So I'll let you do that.
Insight. Okay. +3.
Total?
Wait, what did you roll?
What's your total?
Oh. 17 + 3, that's 20.
Oh, okay.
There we
Nice. Dirty 20. Okay, so you
Make it dirty.
you look past the orc that you've been battling, and you see the other band is very official looking. They have the right tabards, they have like a crest on them, they have banners. The guy in charge is very fancy, and he seems to just want to know like why they're there. Like, he hasn't told them to run it in charge, and you kind of glance behind you and look around at all of the Triple Crown Guild members, and they're also they seem to be waiting for Silver Fang to say something or to order them in some way, because they also did not expect this other band. So it seems like both of these parties just did not expect each other to be here, and they're like, why are you here?
And can I start now?
Sorry, well, you cut out. What was that?
That's where he's at right now.
Where's who at? There we go.
Able to see Luscious where he is right now.
Oh, Luscious. Yeah. Luscious.
Luscious wind towel.
Luscious is over here. Lucius is over by the campfire.
Would ready an action for
Oh, I should.
ready to action is that if things go sour, she's gonna cast darkness immediately.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, and so you're holding your action.
Yeah, because right now she's like, at the very faintest sign of anything going wrong, she's ready to give the word and then just like set down a mist of darkness.
Okay. Now it's the man who rode up on the white stallion. It's his turn, so I'm gonna do a little bit of dialogue.
Okay.
So he comes up into the light a little bit more. He has his two companions with him, and they're also on horseback. And there's a contingency behind him, and he addresses the group generally, and he says, "This is Fox territory. I don't know what you have plans here, Silver Fang. But I would like to know what exactly you're doing here. I'm sure you've come seeking some quarry, as have I." And you see his eyes flicker in just the general direction of the camp. And Silver Fang kind of... He's right in front of Kayanthi, so he looks at Kayanthi, and he responds... the way he responds with the first time you've actually heard his voice, and it sounds like it's being altered magically somehow, like, because when he speaks, it sounds like there's an echo to his voice, like he's speaking.
Speaking into those like big kid toy microphones.
Yeah, something like that, or like, you know, through like a paper towel tube. You know, his voice is altered a little bit.
Like it's like kind of like reverberating.
A little bit, like it just.
And
I kind of
was like trying to make a punctuated statement before a really big fight.
I love how we're choosing the most like anti-intimidating metaphors.
I mean, that's why I was trying to.
But no, we're really intimidated. We're just
like,
super
no,
entertained.
he's talking to the fan.
It really sounds like, you know, like the voice The voice is through like a Mandalorian helmet, like kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's like altered a little.
Reverberating off of steel.
Yeah. And he responds, Fox territory isn't until you hit Daxon. And the human male sort of muses at this. He's just like, yes, well. Hellock and these dusty little backwater towns were originally under the Gradenhalls, but they've since sold that land to the Foxes. Where are my manners? I am Odo Vakar Fox, newly appointed Viscount of Daxon in all its territory. Who are you? I've heard a little bit. Silver Fang. He grunts, and you see him sort of. He makes eye contact. Kayanthi, you see him make eye contact with his lackey who's right next to you. Not eye contact, you can't see him. You see him head nod.
Yeah.
At him, and the other lackey nods, ready to intercept you if you decide to run. And then Silver Fang sheaths his sword and calls back, "We're the Triple Crowns, and we've been hired to reclaim..." And he looks over at Kayanthi, and then he lets out a whistle, and you see one of these guys like moves that way towards Orator.
They know where he is until we fight.
Rotation on the battlefield.
Yeah, I actually rolled
Make
for
some
it
business.
ahead of time, and Orator just rolled really low on his stealth, even though he's invisible. This guy
He's
also
just crunching on every leaf beneath his foot.
All the
He's
snakes
really
are so
struggling to like not
Really
feel pain right
hectic
now.
mud footprints.
Yeah. Silverfang continues, "We've been ordered to reclaim the lost Ordelia children and bring them home." Next up is Boink.
Oi!
Boink is just gonna hunker down.
Okay. And then it's the wolves.
Alright. Is that person still in front of us right next to the wolves? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Shout
they're
out
just,
your wolves.
they're just going to continue what they were doing and just like attack our pursuers, yeah.
Okay.
Do what wolves do best, they're gonna knock. One rolled an 18, the other rolled
biting at.
Yeah, and this orc is a hardy, seasoned warrior. You know, he's taking these hits. You already see like scars marring his body, so he's used to the level of pain. And he kind of knocks one of the wolves away, and it misses. Then, as he's doing that, he exposes his side, and then the other wolf lunges for him. Trumps on the hunt. Okay.
I'm just chomping.
Next up is actually they're not going to do anything. It's the nobles band. So next after him is Lucius, and Lucius will turn invisible.
Thanks, man.
All of our friends are disappearing. Where are they?
And
Where did they go?
Quiet. We're trying to do a thing. Rogue's still stopping. Shush. Something.
okay, and then
Slowly we see a sheet being pulled over Luna's body to make her slowly.
all right,
Don't see it.
Kiara, you hear your uncle's voice come from behind you. He came over and is now hiding behind the cart. in its shadow. We'll see how well he does. He thinks he's sneaky. And he says to you, Kiara, I can get us out of here. Or I can make a distraction. Or I can do a distraction.
I think we could probably manage both. Is what she thinks in her head. I'd like to hope we can manage both.
Alright. That's all he can only. It's like. Basically, he's gonna need 2 turns to do both. That's it.
Nate, I can help.
So, alright, I can make a portal. But, the thing is that we're all spread out. And I can only get us about 500 feet out. Get the 3 of us out of here, but probably have some stragglers following us.
Handle the stragglers. It's the large lot of them that we can't handle.
Okay, so what do you think? What do you think we should do? What should we do first? Distraction or portal? Distraction. Okay. He nods, and then you can see him begin to start casting, but he can't do it this turn. Okay.
Before he does the distraction, I ask if there's anything I can do. I do have a readied action, and I don't mind casting it down now, but if he wants me to wait for sort of like a double hitter for when he does cast it, I can hold it ready for that.
Yeah. He says, I think he'd say hold.
I got some brewing in mind.
Alright, we'll hold off on it.
Serve it later.
Serve it later. We need your... Well, yeah, he'd just say hold it off. Okay. Next up is Silver Fang. And you hear him call back, and he says, I think we can come to an arrangement. I have no interest in these other quarries. You may take who you please. And then one of the other guys, we'll say it's like, actually, we'll say it's this guy. This guy, he kind of pipes up, one of the members of the Triple Crown. He says, hey, well, I mean, both those drow have a nice bounty on their head. And then Lucius kind of just like sinks back into the shadow, and he's just like
sinks back. Excuse me.
And then Silverfang says, all right, well, I'd prefer to get my quarries, and if it's of no trouble to you, maybe a consolation prize. And Odo Bakar responds and says, well, I mean, of course we don't want to separate family. The Ordelias are yours. And he says, and he looks around, he's like, you can take the guy. You can take the male drow. Okay. And then this one on the horse rides over. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Actually, she would kind of like ride around. Hang on. She's on a horse. Alright, we'll say that she rides around and kind of like blocks this path. And that's all she does. She has this sort of intricate looking gauntlet on her hand and a short bow. Probably in her like late 20s. Okay. Next up is the witch in the air, who is part of the Triple Crowns, is still holding Yon. And then she floats over to... There we go. She floats over to Silver Fang. That's all she's gonna do. Next is the guild. So he's gonna come over this way. Yeah. I think all of these guys are just gonna try to get out of the way. So, Luna, you can take your attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack him because he's not first. Nat 20!
Hey!
Hey!
And that's my first
get
attack,
up.
too.
Okay,
I don't know if that's right.
which one are you hitting?
The one who talked earlier.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, this one. Okay.
That is... That's 14 damage and a DC 15 strength save.
He's one of the knights. Which knight are you? I have them numbered. This is Kevin! Okay. He takes 14 damage. Oof. And then he has to make a DC strength saving throw. Okay, he failed. He's on the ground.
Yep.
He's not having a good time.
I just like kind of in my jaws and like slammed on the ground.
Oof. And Eddie, help! Help! And he's just like,
You never learn.
hang on, man! Hang on. He's like his friend like being mangled. He's just like,
It's nice on it.
Okay, after that... Okay, the guild. This guy... He got indicated towards the right direction, so I'm gonna have him make a perception check. Oh wow, he actually rolled a good perception check. Orders. Okay. He's right by order, but they literally both rolled 16s. So, right now, he's still... No, orders, DC's dex is probably higher. So, it's funny because this guy comes over looking for order, and then the invisibility... Actually, like, I think it... How long is invisibility?
You just can't cast it.
Oh, okay. He's like, this guy is in the general vicinity of order. He's kind of like waving around, like trying to find him. And Kayanthi, you can see like order is basically just walking around this guy as he like flails his sword. He's just kind of like stepping behind him, walking behind him. Okay, then it's Erevan, and Erevan, he is going to... Yeah, we'll say you see him cast something, and then in Kayanthi, you're the only one that really sees this because he's in your like peripheral. Yeah. But Erevan glitters, and then he just kind of disperses into like a mist.
Oh, goodbye.
Good for him.
Poof.
See you around.
Hi, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you for watching Dungeon Damsels. This is not the end of the session, so please stay tuned for the next part. We update on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in supporting us more, please push the subscribe button, like, or comment. We also have a Patreon, wink wink nudge nudge, and our show is in podcast form. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, and plenty of other podcast platforms. Thanks, we hope to hear from you soon.